This video will demonstrate how to set up the QRQ CW DOS program called CWTERM on Windows using DOSBox. CWTERM was one of the foremost and one of the best CW sending programs during the DOS computer era. I used it myself for many years, and so did many other people. So it's kind of nice to be able to do this on a modern Windows computer, and DOSBox does a great job of being able to install CWTERM inside it, and the timing and quality is excellent. So let's demonstrate how that sounds for the moment. So we'll go over to the DOSBox I already have set up. So CWTERM is a Morse code terminal, and it sends a signal to the serial port RTS pin, and there's a circuit that you attach to that pin to ground, and then that takes a cable over to your rig and can key the CW jack on your rig. And those circuits are many that you can use. Quite a few of them are easy to find on the internet, so I'll let you do that. For this demonstration, I'm using a software example using a virtual serial port pair. I have a pair from COM1 to COM2. I have a USB to serial port adapter, and that is actually COM3. So I can't use COM3, but I'm using COM1 to COM2. I have CWTERM set to use COM1. And I have this software CW code practice oscillator set to listen to the RTS pin signal that activates the CTS pin on COM2. So RTS from COM1 activates CTS on COM2 because this is a pair and it's like a null modem connection. So every time you send something on an event signal on COM1, COM2 reacts to it and it sends Morse code, just like this. You can see the green light flashing over here. So this is representing a cable that would be going to your rig's CW jack. Okay. So how do you get that set up? First, you need to download CWTERM, the DOS program. It'll be a zip file, and all these links will be in the show notes. So download this, unzip it, and then we need to go to Windows and create a new folder. I've called mine DOS drive. This is so that DOSBox knows where to find CWTERM and uses a certain part of the drive to set up its virtual DOS drive. So you just right click, new folder, and call it whatever you want to. Then once you've unzipped CWTERM, you place that folder, copy it, or move it to this folder. Once CWTERM has installed itself, which I'll show you in a second, it'll create a new folder called ham. And that's actually where all the business takes place. Okay, so you've done that. You've got a new folder. You've got a name for that new folder. You've downloaded, unzipped, and you've copied or moved CWTERM folder to here. Now what do you do? Okay, let me demonstrate that. So I'm going to get out of here and close this out for a second, and we'll bring DOSBox back up. So I have it automatically going to the C drive, which I'll show you how to do here in a second too. But first, let's get this part of the thing done. So we want to go directory, and you'll probably have you won't have the ham yet, but you'll have CWTERM. So go to CD CWTERM. Okay, let's hit directory. And now the command we're going to use is we're going to type in install.exe. Now I'm going to show you a video so I can rush through this because it takes just a little bit of while to get through it. Okay, so here I've CD to CWTERM just like we did. Now we're going to enter the command. Install.exe, and then hit escape once you see this screen, and then it's going to start. Now I'm going to kind of go through this a little bit quickly, and it'll start making files, and it may take a minute or two on your computer. Finally, when it's finished, you'll get a C prompt. Then CD into ham, and then type in CWTERM. That's all you have to do, and that will load the program. And let me show you that. So I don't need to do this again, so we'll just hit the directory again, CD /, go back to the root, CD ham, and then type in CWTERM. And there it is. And we should still be set to go here. See if it still works. Okay, very good. Now, while we're here, let me go to hit Alt F, and then take your right arrow and go over to parameters. You can set your words per minute, weight, compensation may be default at 10, so I would take that down to 0. I prefer it at -1. Hit enter. Tone off, on or off, so it'll use your sound card depending on where DOSBox has it listed. I'm going to turn mine off because I'm listening to it through this other code practice oscillator that's all software called SoftCW. So I'm off and enter. TR port. Now here's where it's important if you want to really use this to key a rig or to key SoftCW or some other software CW oscillator that has a straight key setting on it, like da-da-da and Elho CW. Both of those have it, as well as SoftCW. So TR port, enter. So you have 4 options as far as what port you want to use. Since I am using COM1, I want to hit enter for that. Now you have to tell it on the voltage which one to use, and I use the positive on my system. Enter, enter, enter. Once you get everything done, hit save parameters, and then every time you bring this up, you'll be in good shape. Okay. Alright, so that pretty much covers the settings for CWTERM. Now let's get DOSBox. We have a couple things. In order to use the serial port and to automatically go right to the C drive, we're going to need a couple of settings. I'm going to show you how to configure the serial port here and how to automatically get the C drive going right there. Now all these links will be in the show notes. So again, this will be in the program files. Oops, wrong one. Program files, DOSBox, in the options. So double click that, scroll all the way down. Now to get it to automatically start to the C drive, where you just set the folder up using CWTERM, and on mine it was called DOS drive. So whatever you called yours, put those letters right there, right after this /. So mount C space C:\/ DOS drive. Then go to the next line and type in C:. That's all you have to do. Now we're going to scroll up a little bit to this serial section. And then the first line, instead of saying direct serial report, yours will probably come default as dummy. So right after the equal sign, change that to read what you see here. Direct serial space real port : COM, whichever COM you're going to use. And again, I'm using COM1 because I'm using a virtual serial port pair to act like a CWTERM to rig connection. But if you wanted to use a real serial port, whatever the number is of your real serial port, that's the one you would use. So in mine, my real serial port is COM3. So instead of COM1, if I didn't have all this virtual splitters and pair makers, I would have put COM3 right there. You have 2 options for serial ports, because you can go to COM1 or COM2 and CWTERM. So if you have another serial port, you could also add that one in here. Just make sure it's different from the first one. That's the only two changes you need to make to DOSBox in the configuration settings. Alright, so you go to File and hit Save, and then that's good to go. So you'll really need to do that before you load DOSBox. I mean, after you've installed it, of course. Come here, change those settings, and then bring DOSBox up. And these will help, as far as links go, that'll help you back up what I just said. And here's where you download DOSBox. So download that, install it, and then change these settings. And if you wanted to use a software code practice oscillator just to get it running to test this, you'll need this. And you'll need to set up some sort of a virtual serial port for this to work. But that's another video. Okay, that pretty much sums it up. On how to get QRQcw DOS program CWTERM working on Windows using DOSBox. Thanks for watching.